what about capital allocation? This year, you'll be making profits probably more than the market cap of some of your, auto companies, as people in the market have been mentioning. And it's also a breakthrough year in terms of reducing your debt, which also has been a pain point. Now, Mr. Narendran, I would like to attract your attention to one difference that has really come about. The narrative has changed. No more do we understand that a capital intensive sector needs to have a huge debt on the balance sheet. And that lead has been taken by some of the big business houses to become debt free, even though they are capital intensive sectors. Now, in your view, you've given a conservative approach in terms of reducing your debt. How are you going to allocate your capital? And is a big acquisition also on the anvil since you have ready cash? Or will it be very, very strategic and focused, and will debt take a center stage? What is the capital allocation strategy that you'll be looking at?
What we said, Nisha, what we said 3 years back is we'll deleverage and we will focus on deleveraging by at least $1 billion a year, right? So we did that in the first year of that announcement. The second year we were challenged because the domestic business, slowed down. Last year we more than made up for it, and this year also we've said we'll deleverage by at least $1 billion a year. So the focus on the balance sheet continues, and we do believe that the India business in good times and bad times will generate enough cash flows to deleverage. Okay, so an important structural change in Tata Steel is the India business, which used to be 30% of our revenue, is today 70% of our revenue, right? And 70% of your revenue is coming from businesses which are always cash positive, and not only cash positive, which can actually fund its own growth without having to borrow, right? So if you really look at Tata Steel's debt, a lot of that debt has come on because of what we've had to do in Europe over the years. And of course, we had growth in India, but pretty much most of that growth would have been supported by the cash flows generated out of India. So going forward, if the European business can stand on its own, as we have seen last year and as we will see this year, and hopefully as you will see in the years ahead, then the India business can generate enough cash to support its own growth. So you don't need to have a lot of debt on your balance sheet to grow. And as you grow, you will generate even more cash flows to support any other incremental growth that you need. So I think structurally, we are moving to a better place. We are helped by the current steel prices. But even when you look at steel prices at $350, Tata Steel India business at a 20% EBITDA margin, right? So it's not a business which cannot generate cash even in a downside, right? At the India business. And the consolidated margins, if you see, of 20% EBITDA is probably among the best in the world for a steel business, which is 35 million tons with a global footprint, right? So we are in a structurally much better position. The capital allocation will continue to be dominated by India. We are focused on completing the Kalinganagar project and expanding our mining activity. And we will look at inorganic growth opportunities in long products, when it comes our way. Because on flat products, we believe that our existing sites gives us enough opportunity to grow organically.
All right. So in organic, tell me, what is it that you're looking at? There is government disinvestment. There is also unorganized large steel market in India, which can be organized and they may not be able to survive during COVID. And there could be global units also. Where is it that you're looking at?
Certainly not outside India. I think we are only looking at opportunities for inorganic growth in India. In long products, of course, good assets like the Usha Martin Steel assets we picked up because they were a good asset. We knew it quite well. Not so many inorganic growth opportunities in the private sector in India. As far as the government sector is concerned, the government has announced Neelachal. We are part of the process. We put in our EOI and through Tata Steel Long Products, which is the vehicle for our long products growth. And the other announcement that we heard was of RNL, as in when the process starts, we participate in the process.